peace, and prosperity. We have made great progress since 1963, when the OAU was formed, and since 2002, when it became the AU. From the northern tip of the continent in Cairo to the southern tip in the Cape Town, we now have various regional organizations that are the building blocks of African unity. We have established various mechanisms to resolve conflict, such as the AU Peace and Security Council. We have established the Africa Continental Free Trade Area as we pursue our great vision of a continent that trades first and foremost within itself. Despite this and other milestones, our beloved continent is still beset by immense challenges such as conflicts, slow economic growth, and high employment rates. However, these challenges are not insurmountable. In fact, they present an opportunity for Africans to unite and elevate Africa as a continent that has massive wealth and opportunities within itself. From critical minerals to oil and gas, Africa has the natural resources to achieve what President Julius Nyerere's vision was of a Africa that is self-reliance. With a population of more than 1.5 billion people, we have the markets to trade amongst ourselves, first before expanding elsewhere. SADC alone has a consumer base of over 360 million people and a collective gross domestic product of more than 720 billion US dollars. You see how rich we are. Our common languages, such as Arabic, in northern Western Africa, Kiswahili in Eastern and Central Africa, and Nguni, Sesotho and Setswana languages in Southern Africa are the building blocks for even greater unity and cultural affinity. For example, we have similar foods across the continent, such as pap, bohobe in South Africa, sadza in Zimbabwe, and ugali in East Africa. Many African cultures cut across borders like the Swati, the Sotho, and Botswana in Southern Africa, and the Maasai in Kenya and Tanzania. Our common history of fighting colonialism and apartheid also brings us together. For an example, frontline states in Southern Africa played a key role in supporting South Africa's struggle against apartheid. This year also marks the 36th anniversary of the Battle of Kuto Carnival, which marked the beginning of the journey towards SADC liberation and South Africa's liberation. We pay tribute to the liberation as led by Cuba, who defeated the apartheid regime forces on the 23rd March 1988 in Angola. Although we fully support people-to-people interactions within our continent, we must stress that people who visit other countries must abide by the laws of those countries. Immigration must be legal, and those who have been granted access to other African countries must not commit crime. Ladies and gentlemen, the AU dedicated the 2025 Africa Day towards accelerating the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and promoting programs that support the International Decade of Indigenous Languages as declared by UNESCO. As you are aware that we are celebrating Africa Month under the theme, Building Africa We Want Through Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability. This is in line with the theme for South Africa's G20 presidency in 2025, fostering solidarity, equality and sustainable development. Over the past 6 years, culture has been gradually anchored within the G20 as a standing mechanism. This is because it plays a fundamental role in the sustainable development of our societies, not only in terms of social development, but also economic growth, employment, innovation, environmental sustainability, and resilience. This evolution equally reflects our shared commitment through the Culture Working Group that culture must be recognized as a cornerstone of rights-based, inclusive, and sustainable development. Building on the achievements of past presidencies, whom I wish to sincerely thank, the Culture Working Group has steadily matured. Together, we share the responsibility to carry this agenda forward, harness the power of culture to support cooperation, solidarity, and dialogue, to stimulate knowledge, exchange, and shared understanding in the spirit of the G20 summit. Our collective efforts must advance social justice, protection, cultural rights, and promote cultural and linguistic diversity and ensure equitable access to cultural life. This year, these efforts are framed by 4 key priorities: safeguarding and restitution of cultural heritage to protect human rights, integrating cultural policies into socio-economic strategies for inclusive rights-based development, harnessing digital technologies to promote culture and sustainable economies, and addressing the intersection of culture and climate change to shape a global response. These priorities reflect the South African G20 presidency theme. Together, we share the responsibility to carry this agenda forward, harnessing the power of culture to support cooperation, solidarity, and dialogue, stimulate knowledge exchange, and shared understanding in the spirit of the G20 summit. Our collective efforts must advance social justice, protect cultural rights, promote cultural and linguistic diversity, and ensure equitable access to cultural life. This year, these efforts are framed by 4 key priorities. I've mentioned that. To come up to tangible sporting cultural programs to commemorate SADC Liberation Day annually on the 23rd of March. Ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate Zimbabwe for hosting the very successful the 2025 Regional Annual Sports Awards, a flagship event of the African Union Sports Council, Region 5, on the 24th of May 2025 at the Harare International Conference Center in Harare, Zimbabwe, Yamugabe. Let us strive together to build a prosperous Africa, an Africa that provides economic opportunities for its youth and vulnerable groups within our societies. I've seen people with disabilities present as well. Thank you very much for coming. It is our commitment to build an inclusive global world, that support multilateralism and the rule of law without fear or favor. Program Director, this is our story, the story of a continent that is transforming itself, and it is the one that we need to embrace, project, and work together to transmit. All we need is a strong political leadership to achieve this vision. We have to be intentional and not just engage rhetorically. We must be inspired by the national anthem of the AU. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. As we mark Africa Day, we honor our collective heritage. This occasion reminds us of the strength that lies in our unity, diversity, and shared humanity. A better Africa and a better world becomes. With these words, I invite you to enjoy the performances and exhibitions and tour this amazing home of our struggle for freedom. Zikomo Kwambere. Happy Africa Day. Thank you.
Happy Africa Day! Somebody scream! Somebody say Happy Africa Day! I shouldn't take any pressure.
Freedom Park Wait, guys, sorry. Am I ready this side? Okay, give them the signal and then so like, because I'm watching there. Okay. So we are still celebrating at the Freedom Park. Yeah, no, like go go mon mate byang ra re a re tsamaya tang di artistic ka gonne letsatsi le tshwantse be le mena something for batho ba ileng gore ba mo creative and cultural industry. O di mo pele ga ka ke Mama Flora Molepo, right mama? Yes, le ka itlhe bomma.
Bona le ka.
Bona le pila byang le teng mare le right ya ke re. So se le performile ya no.
Ara thare perform.
Ha ha le performa. Ma se le performa ke re.
Ara tsebe ka gore ba ile re se re to tsamaya.
Yeah, okay, mara ha re bueng ka Africa Day ne ka gone ke itse gompieno re celebrate Africa Day and ke itse le mapedi a ke itse sepedi pila mara le ke tla try ke re tsona la sutwa ke re lona la gana gore Africa Day e mina eng ko lona
E mina bogwa ba rena.
yeah
Go tshwana le di culture tsa rena ka ofela ga tsone.
yeah o nagana gore go botlhokwa go le go kae especially batho ba bagolo mo baneng gore setso sa rona re se latelle re ithute sona ka metla le metla
Re tshwanetse re ba rute sona.
Africa Day, it means unity, kopano, lerato, freedom. Lona le batho ba golo ba ileng gore le gotse ka nako ya apartheid. Le nagana gore ka 2025 gone ba nong re na le freedom eo ana unity e teng mare ga ba nnete.
Ai freedom le yone ta di sa le.
Yeah.
Re latlhile setso.
Re latlhile
Se latlhile. Bana ba rena ba sa latela setso.
Yeah. And then freedom ona re na le freedom go dira le tseno re batla go dira gone ba nong ka pentse le siko.
Freedom e gona mo baneng ba rena.
Yeah.
And it tlile ka lesite le le rongwa a I tshwane le ditso tse dingwe.
Yeah.
E tlile ka mogomong.
O bolela yang gore tle ka mogomong.
E tlile ka mogomong ka gore bana ba nno ba itaola. Ba itaola ngwana wa nno o ka sa kgona go moroma ebile o ka se re mo isha letsogo ge a shetse a sentše.
Mare ke mathata man la o kwa bana ke mathata ya nong a ke betla gore maybe ke pile re feleletsane wa itse gore matsatsi a tshwana le bo Africa Day ra celebrate ba re leta ko maeng re tlo entertaina batho o nagana gore tsatsi le thusa di artists beyond re di creatives
e thusa di artist gore re kgone go tsebana gore go na le Mapedi go na le Mazulu go na le Mandebele
group ya lona ke mang and if batho ba batla le buka so ba ka le thola kae ko social media ha ebe e teng ka one ke itse bonko ko ba gompieno ba le di social media platforms
e bitse la rena ke dikwena tša Limpopo.
Okay,
Mo ba ka re tholang gona di nomoro ke 076 235 8815.
yeah
Re tswela ka moseta Deep Sluti.
yeah a re shebelleng camera ro rotlhe re ya Limpopo Limpopo yes.
I want to therefore acknowledge your presence here. Deputy Minister Me Pinky Kekana, who's the Deputy Minister of the Public Service and Administration, the MEC Sifuba, you are always with us. We really highly appreciate you supporting the programs of the department and showing what alignment means. We want to acknowledge the work and the contribution that was done by Tshwane Municipality, the City of Tshwane, the Gauteng Province, and all the other stakeholders that contributed to organizing this beautiful, beautiful celebration. Ambassadors, you are always with us, especially on this day. I know that the program directors did call out the names of the countries that are represented by the ambassadors that are present here today. More, because I noted that there are many more that came in also whose names had not necessarily been called out. And I see my friend there looking at me. I'm not even going to mention because I had the names of the countries. We want to acknowledge you, honorable chairpersons. religious leaders, faith-based, leaders of the faith-based organizations, ward councillors, HODs, senior officials that are here. Thank you for coming. We do, however, again, together in the G20 and also together in other areas where we sit and we agree. And indeed, as you said, we share democratic values. Thank you, Ambassador of the Central African Republic, for your message, who's also the Dean of the African Diplomatic Corps. The list of heroes that you read out, showing how dynamic the history of Africa is. Thank you for reminding us. MEC of Health, who's also, I'm told, acting together with her officials that she worked with in making sure that continuously, Dr. Mathumadi, continuously when we come here, we really feel that we are celebrating in a historic place like this one. So thank you very much, my sister. To all the artists, the creatives, and all who contributed to the cultural program, we celebrate Africa in style here in Africa, here in South Africa, and that is because of you. To the planning team led by Rufus Matibe and all the officials from the department and other structures that work together, DECO and other departments that worked with us. Thank you very much. The list is long. I might not have mentioned everyone on behalf of the Deputy Minister, but we do want to say this would not have been like this if you were not here, if your presence was not felt as it did. We are still going to eat. Deputy Minister said I must say that. So if you don't get food, afterwards don't blame me. She said, I must tell you that we are still going to eat. We are still going to be merry. We are still going to celebrate. Happy Africa Day. Happy.
ntse re relaxitse go le monate ke re tsatsi le tlhabile ke re bona ke ja mokaragana wa botshelo jaanong ke dutse mo le bomama ba ba pila ba ba ntle ba itse ke bua Sesotho jale ke tlo shift wa bona from Setswana ke bua Sesotho gobane ba re bona rena re bapedi wena o bua Sesotho sa hao se ke tlo bua Sesotho sa ka ke na le mama Grace le teng le kae
rona le kae sese
ke teng tle mara ke batho dimisa wena fela ke batho dimisa le bomme bona le kae hleng bomme la ba ba ntle tjenana a ke le re hallo bontate mo le bomme jale mama Grace ke a bona gore o na le bomme ba batle monana le tlile Africa Day le tlo celebrate e le gore lona bohlokwa ba gore le tlo celebrate mo le bone e le bofe
ka he lo re mama re tswile mo ka mo la South Africa era ya gane le fase le lokuluile re lokuluile that is why o bona hantshi dilo tse dintsi di gore ke ntsi tsa boithabisa batho ba bantsho ba lokuluile ba be ba le ka ra gatello e golo le bana ba rena ba lokuluile wa bona ka nako ela ya gale a kere
ya di dompas
gore wa tseba ina yo le roboto be re sa itseng a ke go ja maka o bo le boima gore re palla le go tla mo Gauteng nna re tswa Limpopo mama
okay
re batho ba Limpopo so o re mo magweng mo be le matsapa gore o tshwantse gore papao or motswadi wa or rangwane or mang a be ana le ntlomo o gone o eta mo o gone o bona re mo ke Pitori ina le eng lo tse re di bona ntse re di urile re na le bana mara re leboa tata rena Mandela a re ntšhitše ka hara bokgoba bola
no ka itumela ga o bua ka Ntate Mandela but he re ka bua le ka ba bang ba e leng gore ba ne ba sebetsa Ntate Mandela ba e leng gore ba re thusitse bomme Winnie o kile bona bo Ntate Steve Biko
Thabo
Mbeki
ba bang
le bo Oliver Tambo jalo so ke a thaba gore ntse le re gotlisa morao le re hopotsa batho ba e leng gore ba entse gore re fitlhele mo re leng teng jalo ha re bue ka setso bone ke Africa Day and ke thabile gore itse ha o fitlha mona wa re ngwana ka ke kopa o bua Sesotho o tlo bua Sejatlhapi jalo ke a try ke batla go tseba gore na le fila jwang ka bana ba e leng gore ba ka sheko ha ba rate go bua puo tsa bona ana ke phoso ya batswadi kapa ke phoso ya bana ba e leng gore ba focusitse ko nthong ena ya ba e bitsa modernization
se nka nyaka go botsa sona ngwaneso keng bana ba sa nyake go bolela polelo ya bona nka se ba blame gore yona ba tshwantse ba e bolele mara matšatši a ka tšeko ngwana a sa tsebe Sejatlhapi o mo bothateng wa bona ka re wa bona re le bomme ka mokgo ba bangwe a ba bereke a e yona mebereko mara ba lena le tšeang bana ba ya dikolong tša batho ba bašweu e botlhokwa ka baka la gore o tlo kry-a ngwana a sokola wena mme o sego a o diile le ntate gore le sesi a kere o tlo ba o se gona mo gausi le ena o santse a boleleng a leba le polelo ele ya gago ko gae a bolele Sejatlhapi because lefase le boima
so o bolela gore go thata gore o fumana mosebetsi le gore ga o tsebe segoa so go lokile gore batswadi ba ka isa bana dikolong tsa makgowa empa gape ntse le botlhokwa gore ka tlong re rute bana setso sa rona
exactly
that's beautiful so ke a bona gore le apere botle and ke a tseba gore ntse le tlo ya mane staging le le go bontsha botle bona ba lona bone le nagana gore Africa Day e thusa di-artist jwang ka taba tsa mesebetsi ka taba tsa ntho tse ngata kapa le nagana gore ba re bitsa fela go tlo performa re entertaine e re thusa jwang
ya re thusa mama ka baka la gore a no ile o ka lebelela a ke gane ba bantši ba bereka mara o na le ba le goreng ka tšeko ba kry-ile borotho a ba bereke ba kry-ile borotho wa kuša bana ba kgona o ja something yana ka mo lapeng because ga o sana mošomo mmereko ga o sa le gona le rena re kgona go bona tše e le goreng be re sa kgone o di bona wa kuša re fela re ya kwa le kwa ka yona a se mathomo re fela re sepela mara re kgona go bona gore o gante poleke e ka mokgo wa ikuša re kgona go ba le ntho engwe e le gore e ya re gola ka mo ara menano ya rena
so re qatelela puo ya rona mme wa ka ke kopa o shebe camera yane o leboge department ya arts and culture gobana ke re ke na le ke bona ba le tlisitseng mo mara jale he o jetse le batho lapeng gore na ba ka le fumana jwang gobane ke a tseba gore performance ya lona is going to be very amazing
nna ke le mme Grace wa setlhopha sa mmino wa manyalo re bomme ba bagolo ba ile goreng re a bina ebile re exercise mebele ya rena re bomme ba bagolo gore re a itshina re leba le yona art and culture e le gore e re tlisitse mo tšatšing la ka tšeke go monate ke rile ke namelela molaka kwa gore ya ke a bereka mara ke na le nete ya gore 1 kilonyana yona ke ilesitše re a leboa se re se bonang ka tšatši le la ka tšeko re a leboa e le re nyaga nna re twa re le Atteridgeville re dinaledi tša bapedi
No, it's fine. You can continue. It's fine. Ke a utlwa gore mama bona e mading tshwena wa utlwisisa
gore wa tsaba re rata go bina ka dipelo tša rena tše tsotlhe a ona a re gapeletšana aowa mo garabe ke ra meberekong mara e ba re ke tšatši la go bina aowa ke tšhaba go tsoa ka 5 gore ke disetša tša lapa laka gore ke sepele gore kodia se e le gore ke tumile ka sona
mama Grace a ko mphe 5 nyana mo wa bona ge ke fashion ke lebogile thata re le ba le shebe ke re le halala Africa Day halala well from time that's where things are happening and TLL we're still here so please stick around don't go anywhere We live. So still celebrating, as I've been speaking to the previous speakers, everybody's sounding so beautiful because Africa Day is our pride, it's everything to us as Africans. So sitting next to me, Kintate Tau from the National Heritage Council, and I thought, they make things happen. You're almost so talk about
but I'm African first.
African first,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But happy today, and I want to test you now.
Oh, let's turn on
Serious? I love this. I love this. So Nakamosoto.
Oh, I listen to
allow me to express myself as a Soto. Jole, we are celebrating Africa Day ka shekolenana. Ho monate wa bona ho tletse ke megabo batho ba tswa di provinces tse fapaneng and Gauteng ke yona the host. Jole from the Heritage Council ke batla o tseba hore na lona bohlokwa ba o tshwara mokete o tshwanang le o ona na re ke bo jwang.
You know, rena re tla even ho feta mokete o tshwanang le because responsibility ya rena e bua ka the whole heritage sector, the whole heritage sector in South Africa. So Africa has always been in support South Africa in terms of our liberation struggle. So today, with our freedom, you know, the theme here today, silence the guns and play the drums, right? Africa has been in support of our liberation struggle. Now we are celebrating that freedom. We've silenced the guns and we are playing the drums. And I say to everybody, South Africa is beautiful, it's majestic. But we are sitting at the southern tip of Africa. We like a cup at the bottom. It's wearing Africa Kamora so.
Man.
And why not celebrate it here?
And why not? Why not? You know, talking about that, because I think a lot of our young people, they don't understand what is the meaning of heritage. They are just assuming probably maybe it's just a building, the museum, but you know, in your context, especially as an expert, the person who's working in the Heritage Council, how would you explain heritage?
You know, heritage is what has been done before that we celebrate today.
In simple terms, I love
now,
it.
As simple as it is, it's very complicated because everything that has happened in the past becomes part of our heritage, especially if it was painful or enjoyed or had to be carried over a period. So, art, music, artifacts, medicine, medicinal practices, language. I mean, total is part of our heritage.
Exactly.
Mapiano is part of our heritage. Kwaito is our heritage. People. So it's as diverse as that. So today, and please allow me to take this opportunity, the call that we have currently.
Please do.
Go to our website. I can talk to the camera. Go to our website, nhc.org.za. nhc.org.za. We have a call for funding. We have a call for funding for us South Africans to go and submit proposals for you to go and do research on any form of what you believe your heritage is.
Wow, that is so beautiful. It's open now and it's
It's
closing
open
when?
right now. I'm not sure
Yeah.
when it's closing. I can ask my office of the dates, but it's open now. I think for the next month or so. But don't go today. Don't wait for the next
I
month.
am going as in like today.
Seize the moment. Carpe diem.
Of course. But now lastly, talking about the ecosystem, how do you think the Africa Day plays a major role, especially if now that we are going to be the host, especially Gauteng, for the G20 summit? Yeah.
How does Africa Day play? I mean, already when we talk G20, we're talking global, right? And I mean, today, if you look at the amount of media that's sitting here, already it's placing us on a global perspective. This Freedom Park is one of the areas where we are going to host, and we actually have been hosting. B20 has already happened. We've hosted some of the finance ministers and something like that from the different countries on G20 already here. What I want to impress with our heritage, with G20 is, let's get to a point where we monetize our heritage. Now, all these people that are coming to G20, let's take them to all our heritage sites. Let's take them so that tomorrow they can come back on holiday to come and explore and experience our food, our culture, our music, our heritage.
I am hoping, now that you're talking about this, I am just hoping that these tourists and these beautiful people that we're going to be welcoming in our country, as they go to those heritage sites, I want to see artists everywhere, please.
We have
I want to see our cultural performances everywhere.
We have to display, you know, I like one of our ministers says, we are not a minister of marimba. We've got diverse culture.
Exactly.
We've got, I've just said, not just artists, food, artifacts,
music, clothing, designers, crafters.
All of that. Yes. Because the world is looking at us and they're interested in us. And remember, let's not wait for the Heritage Council to call you and say, come play music. Initiate.
I love
Let's
that.
initiate.
I love that.
Let's not sit back and say, government, do it for us.
Yes.
Do it, put it out there, send a proposal to say, no, on such and such a day, there's this happening.
Yes.
Advertise, because these people are in hotels.
Yes, true.
So advertise at the hotels. Hire spaces in the hotels to say, I'll come and do a dance here at the hotel.
Exactly.
And I'll charge a fee or whatever it is. So let's also stand up and go to the people.
Because, you know, I only had this small perspective about heritage and obviously your department as well. But speaking to you today, I think a majority of the artists as well, they now have got a broader mind about what your department serves or its purpose.
And I want to urge artists to go and write, to go and sing, to go and paint about our heritage. Our heritage is worth a lot, and people want to buy our heritage. People want to. Do you know that there's a Zulu festival in the US, and it looks nothing like us?
Serious?
It's terrible. It's embarrassing.
Because it's not us there.
Because we are not doing anything about it. Because they don't know who we are. We are not displaying ourselves. So they've decided to think, you know, that coming to America, dancing thing, they've taken that and they're calling it a Zulu dance.
Because we do nothing about it.
So now, let's elevate this thing.
No, thank
let's
you so much.
wear our cultural outfits on a regular. Heritage Day should not be on Heritage Day. Heritage Day must be like we are celebrating our birthday.
Exactly.
But doesn't mean you only live on your birthday. You live every day. So why should our heritage be stored away and live on Heritage Day? You know, when I was inviting a number of people to this Africa Day, I was so disappointed when I heard them saying, I don't have a heritage outfit. I'm like, how are you an African and not have an African outfit? But I show you, you've got this fancy.
Bad.
I'm pointing at you. I mean, I'm trying to say to people, you probably have these fancy outfits of foreign descent.
Exactly.
But you don't even have one outfit that represents you. It means you don't know who you are. Because when you clothe yourself in your own identity, you should actually feel that much liberated.
It's true.
Because you are wearing your identity.
I'm taking that for myself because clearly I don't have anything.
Have more performances in your heritage outfit.
In my heritage outfit, right? But
and listen, You don't have to be stuck in the olden ways, how it looked.
Yes,
Zhuzhify it,
yeah.
no problem.
Exactly.
Because world is constantly
It's evolving,
moving.
yes.
It's evolving.
Yeah. True.
So why can't you do? And that's all. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tau, for correcting me, reprimanding us as South Africans. And as artists, I hope you listened, I hope you heard. So from now on, I will never ever, this is my right?
Or any other day with this kind of outfit.
Or any other
Every
day
time
for
you're
that matter.
celebrating your heritage, look.
You know what? Ke kgalemelesegile tleng bathong ke kopa fela gore ke re ke ipate. Thank you.